just call him live.
I said, we'll just call him live.
Okay, well, it's about time. I'm gonna have to hit because I'm gonna have to get on. I got to drive tonight too, so I don't want to be on too long tonight.
All right, I am rolling the intro.
All right. It's a great Wednesday evening here at the Lantern in Plano. I guess I don't do it enough justice because I always just say the Lantern just because I frequent the place and I'm here. But again, I'm out here live at the Lantern, 6205 Court Road. I've already killed my cheese sticks and started eating their food. It's a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for joining Teague's Take and taking a listen to what we have going on this evening. Man, it was a fun-filled week. I know you guys know that we spent a lot of time, me and Consuela spent a lot of time out in Arizona this past week, celebrating anniversary, my birthday, Valentine's Day. Man, it was absolutely beautiful. But now it's time to get back at it again and really, man, I'm so excited about this show. But before we get in and talk about who our guest is going to be, I need you to know that Tide in Texas got a lot of good stuff happening here too. So crawfish season has started back up again. I don't know if you knew that or not. I ate 2 pounds today. Not very many. I probably could go for 4 or 5, 8, 10 pounds. But I only went with 2 for lunch today. And Tide in Texas has an event, a crawfish boil, March 18th. It's in McKinney at the Blackfriar Pub. It's located at 2621 McKinney Avenue in Dallas. It's, you know what we do. We're always trying to raise money for scholarships for some kids to attend the University of Alabama. So come on out and get you some. $35 if you pay by March 8th, $55, March 9th, and after. Again, it's March 18th, crawfish boil at Blackfriar Pub, hosted by Tide in Texas. Where do you get your tickets? TideInTexas.com. Pretty easy to do. So there might be a George Teague sighting there.
What are you, a Pokemon?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. So anyway, I might be able to convince JT and his family to come out too because they love to eat some crawfish as well. Maybe not JT, but I know his wife does.
I like crawfish.
Yeah, but see, his folks can put down crawfish. JT eats crawfish, but he don't go hard like I do. But anyway, okay, so JT, am I good to go here? Because I want to talk about what we got coming up and what's really happening today. No, that's fine.
Oh yeah, no, I was just going to call our guest when we're ready for him.
Okay, so I want to go ahead and start introducing him and talking about him because I want to get in this because we're only going to have about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to speak to him. And I know he's waiting for you to call. So
okay. So
we've been doing a lot of we're doing a lot of basketball talk here. I think the Alabama basketball game is on now, playing South Carolina. And, man, they're fun to watch. They're really, really fun to watch. And I know there's a lot of stuff swirling around the program and other things like that. But for us, it's really just talk about get the real scoop on what's happening with our basketball. Yeah. Well, I can't repeat his number because I don't know which one I'm gonna text what I got. Sorry. Since everybody listening. And this oh. What do you say? Yeah, I know. That's what. I don't know. Let me actually just let me call him and tell him. I'll call him on the cell and just. Oh, oh, look how he threw me under the bus, man, on the air. I got a typo. I'm finna look. I think you probably typed it in wrong on your phone.
You two can't even hear me, so it's fine. It's just on the recorded podcast.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give him another call.
All right. So legendary coach Wimp Sanderson, we're gonna be bringing in. He's the legendary.
How you doing? Can you hear us?
I'm okay. How are you?
Very good, very good. Glad you can join us.
Glad to do so. Did you run? Did you run and catch that? That guy caught that pass in the national championship game.
No, I've never. I've never seen him.
No. So listen, Coach, you got two of us on here. This is George
Yeah,
Teague.
well, one of your son. I know your son didn't do it. I know you did it though. You caught the guy. Did you? Hey, did y'all have the goal line stand in that game?
Now you're asking me to dig back in the archives.
I don't think they did. I don't think they got that close.
They didn't really have very many chances to score.
Well, the goal line stand. I always kid Murray Legg about it. I said if you hadn't let thank you for the goal line stand. If you hadn't let that guy catch that pass, there'd never been a goal line stand.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're talking with legendary Alabama coach Wimp Sanderson. I got to tell you this before we start asking him about basketball, because I was recently out in Birmingham and playing some basketball.
See, that's how you got hurt the last time. See, now you're doing the same thing I was doing.
Well, this is what happened, but I was playing with Wimp.
Oh,
and he actually wanted to, try to show me his skills even today. I'm like, okay, coach, what's going on?
I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I know, because it really did happen. I just want people to know that you're still strong and you still
strong,
love
right.
everything, and people don't need to let the name fool them, because this coach is awesome. And coach, I don't get to say it enough. I really do appreciate it, because a lot of us, back in the heyday when we were around basketball, the basketball guys being in the same dorm and all this kind of stuff, it just meant the world to us, and it means a lot to us to have you on this show.
Glad to be on. Philip Pearson told me all about you. He's in high school with you.
I did. And so, he just called me. And, Coach, I just want you to know that we did adjust based upon your feelings and your thoughts. We've already fixed it and done. So,
all right. He told me.
That's not we're not trying to offend anybody. We don't ever want to do that, especially people that want to be on give us a show like this. Okay. So we do appreciate it. All right. So let's talk some basketball, because they're actually playing right now. I don't know what the score is and all this kind of stuff, but so me and JT want to just talk you about it, get your opinion, your take on this, your professional stuff, and maybe talk me off the ledge, I guess, a little bit of, I don't know why I get excited and anxious about our basketball team. I love watching them play. They seem high energy. They're running, they're gunning, and man, I just absolutely love it. But are we primed and ready to, I'm saying, go to that next level, being ranked number 2? Can we really make it into the Final Four? I won't say win the championship. Do we have the makings and the mold to be one of the most elite teams this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are a lot of teams. I don't know if there's a real stick-out team. If there's a stick-out team in the country, probably would be Alabama. Kansas has lost some. Houston's lost a couple. Temple beat them. UCLA's not bad. Purdue has lost a bunch here in a row. So I think Alabama is one of those teams among about 8 or 10 that has a chance to win. Just tournament basketball is quite different. You just the championship game, guys, is the night that you play. It's not Sunday or Saturday night or Sunday afternoon. It's the night you play. And the other factor in basketball is that the best team doesn't always win. The best team that night wins, but the best team overall does not always win. This is not a deal where you play 4 out of 7, where if you have a bad night, you can get straight like the NBA does and play some more. This is a one and done deal. This is a one game that if you don't play well in that game, you don't match up well defensively, don't play hard, don't shoot it well, don't do a lot of good things, then you're 88 and out the gate. So sometimes the best team does not win on a one-game series. The best team that night does, but maybe not the best team altogether. So does Alabama have a good chance to win it? Yeah, they do. They have as good a chance as anybody else. They're going to be a number 1 seed, and they are going to be playing in Birmingham their first 2 games. We were fortunate enough to do that with our team. We were a number 2 seed one time and played in Birmingham our first 2 games. So they will do that, and that will put them in the final 16. I don't think anybody can come into Birmingham and beat them because they'll be playing a 16 seed, right crack out of the barrel. So I think Alabama's got probably the best chance they've had to get in the Final Four in a long, long time. We got to the Final 16 6 times in my 12 years, but we could not get past the 16 game, which has always been a disappointment. But it's not easy to do, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. A lot of it's matchups. A lot of it's the style of play by your opponent. How your team matches up with the other team. You take the draw that you get and you play that game one at a time and see what you can do.
Okay, so this I think you might have helped me understand what my anxiety is too, because of you saying, hey, the best team wins that night. And I'm just always worried that, hey, we get in this tournament and we play like we played against, I think it was Oklahoma, and we got smashed. And I'm going, okay, how you not let that happen again? When you lose by 30 or whatever it was.
Well, my belief is that mental is to physical, like 3 is to 1. In other words, if you're ready to play mentally, the game tonight with South Carolina is not anywhere close to this Alabama. Not in stats, not in personnel, not in any directions. But you have to be ready to play mentally. Your guys read the papers too, and they know that South Carolina is not very good, like they do about a lot of games. But that game counts either 1 win or 1 loss, and so you have to be ready to play mentally. I think anytime that you play, was Oklahoma more mentally to play against Alabama than Alabama was? Sure. Oklahoma was excited because Alabama was coming in there as a top-seeded team, and they were playing at Oklahoma. And Oklahoma got ready to play. The boy that coached Oklahoma worked for me at Little Rock and Porter Mosier, and they were ready to play. They were mentally ready to play. And if you're not mentally ready to play football, I don't care what football is the same way. If you're not mentally ready to play, you're not going to be very good physically.
Okay, well, I do. I and I agree obviously with the things that you're saying. I appreciate it, but can you help me? Can you help clarify something with me? Me and JT were talking about this offline. I think it was me and JT, because you said, hey, Alabama may be or will be a number 1 seed or something like that. So can you help us normal fans try to understand how does the SEC tournament weigh into that? Because there's still a lot of stiff competition. If we don't win the SEC tournament, it doesn't really have anything to do with seeding.
Well, the SEC tournament is set up for those teams, for all the teams. And when I was coaching, if you won the SEC tournament, you were the champions of the SEC. Now, what should have been like that? Probably not. You probably should have been round robin. where you play everybody twice, but you were considered the champion of the SEC if you won the tournament. We won it 5 times and got in the final game 9 times out of 12 years. So we were very good in that game. But you've got occasionally a team that, for whatever reason, got hot in that tournament, and they weren't going to go to the NCAA, and they won the tournament and got to go. So that gives somebody that maybe is played pretty good all year long, but just not good enough, gets in the tournament and wins it and gets to go to the NCAA tournament. So there will be, some people say, 8 teams out of the SEC that will get in the NCAA tournament. I don't think it'll be that many. I think it will be either 6 or 7 out of the SEC that get in. Alabama will be, unless they just fall on their face. I don't think they will. There'll be a 1 probably. They might be a 2. Probably a 1. And there'll be 4 1s. And sometimes you try to figure out who might be the best of the four. So Alabama will probably be a number 1 of the 1s. So number 1 will play a 16 to start off with. The SEC tournament's fine. There's a lot of interest. Basketball is a tournament game anyway. Yeah, that's what basketball is. It's a tournament game. So that's not going to. If you get beat in the first round of the SEC tournament, that does not mean you're not going to the NCAA tournament. If you had a good year, and right now, Vanderbilt got beat tonight by LSU team that had only won 1 game.
Yeah,
Vanderbilt was going to be fighting Auburn for the fifth seed, and Vanderbilt had beaten Auburn in the one, and so the head-to-head means something. But now, with Vanderbilt getting beat, the first 3 teams, not necessarily in this order, will be Alabama, Texas A&M, and Kentucky. Those will be 1, 2, and 3. Now I don't know. There'll be 4 teams get a double bye, and I don't know who the 4th one will be quite yet. It'll either be Tennessee or Auburn. Auburn has lost to Tennessee by 2. They'll play again at Auburn, and so we'll have to see what happens there. But I would say that the 3 of the top 4 teams tonight, I can almost guarantee it, although I can't guarantee it. I can close. Will be Alabama number 1, Texas A&M or Kentucky number 2, and Texas A&M or Kentucky number 3.
So you're saying that they do get a double bye, meaning they will have 2 rounds off in the tournament.
They will play Friday. They won't play until Friday. The number 1 team, which will be Alabama, will play at noon on Friday. And they will play the winner of the winner of 8 and 9, and I believe that's right. And then they'll play, I believe that's right. And then number 4, I guess they'll play number 4. I don't have it right here in front of me, but
no, it's okay. That means they give them a lot of. I mean, is that valuable to you as a coach? Do you like that? Some coaches like the rest.
Oh yeah, you want a double bye. You save your legs. Your legs are worn out anyway after playing all year. You got tired legs. So
why these high school coaches got to always have like these little warm-up games or whatever it is? If you want the rest, but it seems like they always, we got a lot of rest and we don't want to get stale. So
it's my belief was that you shorten practice a great deal in college. You shorten practice a great deal in February. You practice hard, but you don't practice long. I got where in February I might practice an hour and 15 minutes. That's all I practice. But we go full speed, and we go hard, and we keep our conditioning, but we wouldn't go long because I wanted them to be live-legged. And so it paid off for us the first couple of years that we did it, so we just kept doing it. So that's getting, when you go into the dressing room for your game, get your team ready to play. One of the things that you say is the championship game is tonight. It's not Sunday afternoon. It's not Saturday night. The championship game is tonight. If we get beat, we're 88 out the gate. So that's what you have to understand. You don't look down the line to see who you might play next. Your assistant coaches do, but your players don't. And if they decide that the team that they're playing is not very good because they're a 16 seed, you're a 1, and they're not ready to play mentally, you'll have a close game.
So we have a viewer question for you. The question is, what about this team sets itself apart from others in the past, especially the ones as talented as you've coached?
Well, this team scores from a lot of different areas. They score on a fast break. They score on offensive rebounds. They score from the 3. They shoot a lot more threes than my teams did. They're very talented. I think the biggest thing about this team is that they're very deep talent. They can play. I never played over 8 guys. I never only played 8 guys.
Wow.
So, I may get some guys in the game, but basically my thought was to play 8 guys. This basketball team at Alabama, I don't really like to compare teams, and I don't really like to compare players. I just never have done that. I get asked every day, who's the best player you ever coached, and I say I don't have any idea. I just don't do that. But I would say that you play hard, you play the very best you possibly can. Some teams have better chemistry than others. This team at Alabama can make the threes. They can run a fast break. They can get the offensive boards, and they play good defense. So whether they're better than my 86-87 team, my 86-87 team, we had an 18-game schedule. We were 16-2, and this team now is probably going to be. If they win the rest of them, they're going to be 17-1. They do have to play. They do have to play Arkansas. They won't lose this game tonight, but they do have to play Arkansas Saturday, and then they play Auburn. And I think it's the next Saturday. Then if they got Arkansas, Auburn, and they got to go to Texas A&M. So they got Texas A&M's pretty good. Played well, so it'll be interesting to see.
Okay. So, Coach, how do you feel about? And maybe I shouldn't even say feel. NIL deals now, things going on. Trying to recruit kids.
Legalized cheating. It's legalized cheating.
All right.
It's legalized cheating. That's what you do, and you can do it. You can give football players $80,000 to play a quarterback, $100,000, whatever you can give, whatever the collectives you can get. There was some cheating that went on when I was coaching with teams, but nothing. You might buy somebody a tank of gas or something, but there's nothing like this. This is ridiculous. And I don't have the answer. And I think also the being able to transfer without having to sit out a year is not right. In other words, what you're saying is if things don't really go well, then all I got to do is leave. Well, if you do that in life, you're going to have problems. Now, here's what happens to you. Once you get your team, or once you get your players, there are 2 reasons he might leave. One reason is that the guy down the street at the other school offered him more money than you're paying him. The second thing is that you're mad and hacked off about playing time.
Yeah,
you have never found a player that thought he got enough playing time. Not one. His grandmother told me he wasn't playing enough. His girlfriend told me he wasn't playing enough. So, he wasn't ready to play. So And for whatever reason, he didn't play as much as he thought he should play. So what you have to do is you have to re-recruit those guys. Can you fuss at them? Well, you're careful because if you fuss at them too much, they leave. You're careful with them. But I fuss at them if I need to fuss at them. I fuss at them. So
that's like, Coach, you never fussed at anybody, did you?
Every now and then I would. But the problem is that you have to re-recruit them. Because they're mad because of playing time. Nobody is happy with their playing time. Now, if you're going to get a pile of money, and the other factor too is, you're an offensive lineman, and the other offensive lineman in football is getting a lot more money than you are. You're hacked off, ready to leave. You're finding out he's getting a lot more than I'm getting. I'm playing a lot better than he is. But he cut a deal better than my deal. It's no good. So that's where it goes.
I think it's messing with the sport, right? I think that it takes
away. Oh, they've ruined it.
And there's no way to get out of it now. Do you have any thoughts on how you actually how do you stop it from getting even worse? It's almost like,
I don't know. They're trying to go to the Congress to try to get something done about it. But the problem that you have is when you get congressmen involved and trying the Senate involved, half of them don't understand. Well, half of them don't understand, and half of them don't care. So getting people to get legislation passed, I think is we got NCAA is involved with a situation where they the NCAA is really not over college football. They don't really have a guy. They make the rules, but they're really not over. The NCAA is really over the Final 68 of college basketball. Really, not so much football. They need somebody that's that can oversee the whole thing. But it's quite different, and can you make your football and basketball players paid executives? I mean, or paid people. And then if you do, you got to pay income tax. So if they're paid to play, each one of them paid to play, then you got to pay income tax. So you've got a big stink there. I think it's just absolutely. You have a lot of people who like that. A lot of media like that because they love that crap. Because Tennessee gets a quarterback that cost them $100,000 from California. Oh, so what? They do. They did. So it's the other factor too is that the collectives that you get. By that I mean the money that you get will separate some of the teams. For example, let's just say Texas and Oklahoma are coming to the SEC in a year or two. Can Mississippi State and Ole Miss and Vanderbilt have the kind of collectives that Alabama and Georgia and A&M and Texas have? No. So can they recruit as well? No. They can't. Now, we all know that Vanderbilt struggles anyway, but Mississippi State and Ole Miss at times have been pretty good. But they don't have the collectives that Alabama and Auburn, even Auburn or Georgia, or A&M, they don't have the collectives. So what it does is there's a big gap between the goods and not so goods. There's 6 really good teams, and then there's 6 that are way behind them because they don't have the collectives and can't buy the players. We are buying players. So, you there?
Yeah, we've got
you. Lost?
We might have lost. I think we lost my dad.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, we got you. There you are.
Can he hear me?
Anyway, yeah, you're just in a situation where you just to me it's a big fat mess. Now you've got some people have that in the media, I love that because it keeps a stink going all the time because people like a stink. They like controversy, and so many. I have my own radio show from 7 to 9, and we have people that call in, and we have people that try to stir up controversy because they think you'll go and listen more. And this is certainly controversial because of people buying players. Yeah, you don't go out. If I walk in to see a player, and I tell him what I can give him, a new car or whatever, $20,000 a year or something. The minute that next guy walks in, he says, "What are they offering you?" Well, I'm not going to tell him exactly. Well, I don't care what they're offering you. I'll double it.
Wow.
Yeah, wow's right. Wow's a good. Wow.
Well, we've been talking about a lot on the show, and I'm very glad to hear your perspective. As a former coach and as someone that's in the game, because I don't know if it's worse in basketball or football, because I know how much money basketball makes too, particularly when it gets to
basketball. Yeah, in some cases, basketball, a collective's a little bit higher. Maybe football is
it's the amount of
skilled quarterbacks, for your quarterbacks, your wideouts. It's your great defensive play. It's a lot of money, but it's also who else is going in there trying to recruit the kids. You're at Alabama and you go into about LSU, and LSU is offering this, or vice versa. I mean, you got to go back and figure up, what kind of collectives do I have to give this guy this kind of money? It's out in the open cheating. So it is.
Hey, yeah.
Now, you have people who say, well, players deserve to be. They deserve money. Let me tell you something. When I was at Alabama as a GA, before you guys were born, a graduate assistant, we gave our kids $15 a month. $15 a month, laundry money. $15 a month.
Yeah,
they stood in line because I gave them the checks. They stood in a long line every 2 weeks to get a check for $7.50. Huh. How about that?
It didn't go very much. It wasn't very much different when I was there. Ours was $50 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
$7.50, and you could buy toothpaste. You could buy some gas, whatever. You take your girlfriend out, whatever. That kind of money. But I'm telling you right now,
they didn't hand me no checks when I was in college.
All my money went to
$7.50. If you told somebody that there's a guy standing in line over there that's going to give you a check for $7.50, he wouldn't even go around there and pick it up.
Well, the paper costs more than that nowadays.
Right, sure.
So, yeah. Well, Coach, we really appreciate you spending some time with us and hanging out with us. And I surely do hope that Bama is a number 1 seed. Whatever allotment tickets you get, just because you are who you are, don't forget about your boy George Teague. I might need a ticket to get down there to Birmingham.
I ain't gonna be getting no allotment unless my television gets going up. I'll be watching.
I just want to put my plug in just in case.
I got it. Good to talk to you, George. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Coach.
All right.
Bye, Coach.
Have a good night. Be able to hear from him and talk to him. And he did the same for me last year. JT made me feel a whole lot better about Alabama basketball in his own way. So, being the number 1 seed will definitely make it pretty interesting as far as how far they can get. You agree?
Oh yeah. The double bye shocked me. Well, I guess it didn't shock me because I think I said that last week that I thought they got 2 byes, but they really have a play-in game and then like the first round and then a bye. But It is nice that you only have to win. You only have to win 3. two you're in it, 3 you win it, and then you go to the tournament, and I guess you technically get a first round bye, unless you're Virginia or whoever. Yeah, it was Virginia who lost to the 16 seed, right? So unless you're them, you get a first round bye in the NCAA tournament too.
And that's my point of making which team actually shows up. I don't want another Oklahoma deal that we're just out there. But I don't know if you guys heard this or if you missed it, and you probably are smarter than me anyway. But it was actually brought up. I was talking to Mario Morris, who I'm going to try to get on here probably next month or so, hopefully. But he used to be my college roommate. He's been on the show before, JT. He's a linebacker. Was with
AD somewhere, right?
He was an AD at Wisconsin and Notre Dame. Now he actually works for the NCAA. And so part of our
he's one of them now.
Yeah, I told him we went to the dark side. But we were asking him some questions about it because I was like, how does the NCAA make money? And this is where Coach Sanderson was just talking about that. He said, it's the March Madness, and the amount of money that he said they makes is just ridiculous.
Well, so Emily being the accountant, when she was in school, they had her AD come to their class and speak to them about basically how the school funds, how Louisiana Lafayette was funding things. And he basically said there was 2 things. The football team going to a bowl. And he said that's why they always go to the RL Carriers New Orleans Bowl, because it's close and they get a lot of their fans can go, so they generate a lot of revenue that way. But he said the ultimate thing is the basketball team making March Madness, because their payout from even just going to the tournament pays for all of the rest of the sports. And I was like, that's crazy.
It's like, yeah, that's where he was going. I just never really thought of it that way. It's about how much money was in it. And that also went, and I was asking him, Mario, did they think that how is Alabama going to get this Coliseum? And he's saying things like this, getting to the tournament, redoing it, getting the funds to, maybe if they keep on this roll that anyway, the new Coliseum, this will help Greg Byrne, getting the new Coliseum built as well, potentially. So anyway, man, that was good stuff. That was really good stuff. Anybody got an update on the score over there? 25-24. Yeah. Oh, JJ got jokes today, baby. Hey, don't forget, come and see our friends out here at the Lantern Street Grill and Tap House. Nice place, man. If you like to sing, come get you some karaoke Wednesday to Sunday. I don't sing, but you come get it. I've been whooping up on John O out here on pool. Got some pool tables out here. I ain't tell you that part, JT.
I ain't seen John play pool now one time up there.
I ain't see him play either, but I played against him. He was just he's very good at putting 4 quarters in the machine for us, so I could practice against him. So I am thankful for that. So you can get out here, have a good time. Of course, they got the great beverages. I got me a good Diet Coke tonight and some great cheese sticks.
Me too.
Tonight. Yeah, I see. That's some pretty clear Diet Coke right there, but whatever. So do that. Don't forget about the crawfish boil by Tide in Texas on March 18th. Blackfire Pub, 2621 McKinney Avenue. Go to TideandTexas.com. Get signed up March 8th, $35, man. You want to eat. You get crawfish. You get 2 drink tickets for some beer or soft drinks or whatever you want. It's going to be at noon, starting at noon on March the 18th. Get signed up early, because if you wait till the 9th, it goes up $20, $55. And that's okay. Wait till the 9th. Yeah, wait till the 9th, because it just gives more money to the scholarship fund. And, if you want to give and help us raise some money, come on out, have some crawfish, talk some Alabama stuff, and get around the people that love the Crimson Tide. So TideandTexas.com. All right. So JT, I want to kind of switch to a little bit of football, and I really want to talk about the XFL first.
Okay.
I don't know if you watched any games.
I watched a little bit of one. I watched a little bit of another, which was probably the most boring 3 quarters of football I ever watched. But the 4th quarter was pretty dope.
Okay, so first of all, do you think I got my opinion about it, but the quality of the games the little bit that you saw now, did it have any different feel from the old XFL to the new XFL? Did you have any kind of feelings about it just as a viewer? Did you say, oh, yeah, this is better, or no, this is about the same, or, what was your initial take on watching it?
So I only watched 2 games. So I am going to preface by saying I reserve the right to change my opinion after watching more games. But this iteration right now seems to be of lower quality than the one in 2020.
Really?
To me, like I said, one of the games that I watched was quite literally the most boring 3 quarters of football I've ever watched.
That's shocking. I would say I was on the other side. I just thought it felt more like, not pro ball because the talent is not there, but it just seemed like with the coaches and the plays they were running in the scheme, I was like, okay, they're really trying to play football, and I don't know, maybe that was just me not having very high expectations of what I thought it was going to be. So I'm like you, I didn't watch the whole game, but I know they got it off the ground. They're playing very well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful that it sticks around. I knew the I guess they're the Arlington whatever now.
Renegades.
Yeah, that's kind of why I think I picked generally like 2 not very fun teams to watch, because the iteration of the Dallas Renegades before, they were also, in my opinion, not very good. Like the talent just wasn't there. So, but like the Battlehawks and the Houston Roughnecks, Houston whoever's, they were very entertaining to watch in 2020. They were very good.
So do you know where the Renegades play? I don't even know how the whole get set up. Do they play? Is there home games around here somewhere? Or they got to go to San Antonio? Where? Globe Life, the new Globe Life, the old one?
Glow, or
okay,
yeah, the old one. It's called Choctaw Park or something.
yeah, it's something now. Yes, it Choctaw. So, would you be interested in going to a game?
I would be interested
I'm just saying
in going to a game.
if it was around here,
Yes.
I think maybe we could. I don't know how much it costs to go to a game, but I'm sure we can round up some tickets to go watch them play somebody, just for the sake of it. Okay, so before we get into the rules and all that kind of stuff, here's one thing that I thought was scary, if I can put it that way. It was the mic'd up situation. They allowed every you can hear everything, right? So that's part of the rules. Now you hear the referees talk, and you hear the coaches, calling the plays, the quarterbacks calling the plays in the huddle. So there's mics all over the place. I don't remember which game it was, but having those mics on the field was a problem. Because it also caught up all the talk of all the players around them. So there was a lot of bleepity bleeps and N-words and things where commentators had to apologize for whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure the FCC probably got some fines out of Fox for that. Uh-oh. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I don't know if that was me that froze. I'm sorry. I'm losing JT.
My lights are still green. Oh, no. Oh, he's left the building. Well,
that's me or you.
Oh, you're back. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's me or you. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I couldn't hear everything that you said, so I probably missed some of that stuff about the SEC and what they had to do. But I'm just wondering what kind of changes they're going to have to make with those mics, if any. Or they just got someone pushing a button now.
They might have to do like the NFL halftime does. It's gonna have to be like on a 5-second delay or something if they're gonna continue to do that, or they're gonna have to start finding people.
All right. So do you like it? Do you like hearing it? Because I've heard different debates on, hey man, we really like to be able to hear all the insight. Is it too much, hearing the call and it repeated by the coach or the player? Did you like that part or?
I did, and I don't know if it's because it's novel or not. I think in general, I like it. I think it avoids some of the problems that the NFL has right now, that I think the NFL is trying to pretend that they don't have a problem of.
What do you mean, judgment of the fans?
Well, so we had kind of talked about this last week about and you had said, who would believe that the NFL is scripted? I was like, well,
yeah.
I don't think a lot of players, I don't think a lot of people think that the NFL is scripted, but I do think there's a little bit of
point shaving.
Point shaving is still, I think that the way that the NFL is set up with so many subjective calls with the refs allow the refs to dictate outcomes.
Yes.
And I think that having mics all over the place where you can hear what the refs are saying and you can hear all the things sheds a light of transparency that kind of removes that stigma of this, the refs are out to get us or, whatever, because you actually hear it.
Okay. But then you also get who makes the call, and I wonder if coaches will end up getting fired because you'd be like, "Why did he call that?" Now you got it.
Now, yeah. So I don't.
Think about it as a player, though, JT. If you're mic'd up like that, coach sends you in to play.
Hey, well, you shouldn't have been talking shit in the first place. Just shut up.
How many times though have you really? I said, "Come on, coach, why?"
Me personally, I've never done such a thing. Now I do know people who have. But, this wouldn't be a problem for me because I don't do that.
Yeah, I know. But there's some knuckleheads out there. I think you're going to have more controversy then because there's going to be Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, well, but see, I think as an entertainment industry, that's exactly what you want. At least the controversy now is, hey, your quarterback and your play caller don't get along like that. At the end of the day, that's relatively harmless to your league. But when you have these refs are just out here I don't know if you saw the first game where it was clearly an interception and they called it a touchdown, and then they didn't get the replay angle and they're going through the whole thing, and then the replay they say that they didn't have enough evidence to overturn it. And then the replay angle comes in, but they had already made the call on the field, and it was clearly an interception. That is a problem. That's not a great start. But at least you heard at least you get to see that at that moment in time, they didn't have the angle that you just saw on TV.
Yeah, I get you. I guess I'm coming from a different angle. I'm thinking about you as a defensive coordinator making a call, and the player that you signal into, maybe he makes a mistake. He doesn't call the play. Not like
he changed it on the field.
And then you go, that's not what I called. That's not what I did.
Hey,
so it's not.
I think, and maybe, like I said, maybe I'm naive. I think I would welcome that because
as a coach,
now at least I know he changed it. There's no excuse. I know you did. He can't come off to the sideline anymore and be like, "Oh, I didn't hear," so I just like, no, I heard you. It's on camera. I got you hearing
but
me.
now you gotta watch. You gotta watch 2 sets of film now. You gotta watch a regular film. Then you
No,
gotta
well,
watch
I mean, if you're at that
film.
level, you got somebody else that can do that for you.
The same guy that's telling you to throw the red flag to.
Yeah. He's like, hey man, your
like,
middle
yeah.
linebacker just decided he wasn't gonna call that blitz because he didn't feel like running it. And we're like, all right, well then, you get him off the field and he can cuss his way all the way to the elite. But now it's all out there. Like there's no, you can't lie to me now. It's on tape. I got receipts.
I can see that.
I think it just makes it easier to cut people at this point.
Yeah, but can't cut nobody in the XFL. I mean, they don't have very. No, yeah, I don't know how many guys they have on the roster, but anyway, it was kind of fun to watch. Okay, so were there any rules that kind of stuck out to you that you liked or?
Yeah,
didn't
there were 2 to 3 that I liked. I don't
Tell
know.
us what
I'm not saying that they should be carried over to the NFL, but it was nice. I thought the kickoff was interesting.
Just getting lined up 5 yards
Yeah,
apart.
just put it 5. Like if you still want to do the kickoffs, but you don't want people smashing into each other, that's the way to do it. I think that is the most optimal way to do the kickoffs.
Eliminating injuries that way.
Yeah,
Or
if you still want to do kickoffs, because I was like, look, just if you don't want to have the injuries, then just stop doing them and call it a day. But if you still want to do them, I think that's perfect. The other thing that I liked was the way that they have their extra points and the onside kick / 4th and 15 option.
Yep.
Because that with the San Antonio St. Louis game, that kept me from turning the game off. Because with 3 minutes to go, you're down 15.
They're gonna
the
go
game
for
is not over. It's not over. But if you turn on an NFL game and it's 3 minutes left and they're down 15, game's over.
That's that's how AJ McCarron won the game, right?
Yeah. Converted a 3-point conversion, converted 4th and 15, went down the field, scored, game over. And I like that because at least there are now more scenarios in which the game ends. Have you ever watched basketball with the Elam ending? Have you seen those?
With the what? With the what ending?
Elam.
No.
ELAM. So in so they have the basketball tournament. That's what it's called. It's called the basketball tournament. They play it it's a big charity tournament. But the way that works is you play basketball until the clock runs out, much like a regular game. But then, so let's say I have 50 points and you have 46 points, and the clock has hit 0. So now they say, okay, whoever's winning, add 8 points, and the target now the winner it's first to 58.
Oh wow!
So what they do is they force the game to be won on a made basket. Not dribbling it out, not fouling, because now you can't foul, because if I just hit 8 free throws, the game's over and I win. And they eliminate all of that. And I think that's awesome, because now, the game is just first.
You want some parity. You want some parity. It ain't over till it's over, for real.
Yeah, because then, when we're talking about when do you stop fouling when you're losing? It's like, well, you just don't foul because you're giving away points. And I like the idea for the XFL in this case of that. Now there's more of a chance that the game ends on an actual football play and not a kneel or walk off where we just have to kneel 4 times and get the game over with. At least there's some kind of 4th and 15. There's a better chance of you getting a 4th and 15 than an onside kick. The onside kick, you're like, yeah, they're probably not getting it.
Right.
But the 4th and 15, at least you can say, here's one play for the game. You get it, the game keeps going. You don't get it, game's over.
That's a serious 2-point conversion. You imagine that stress of being a defensive coordinator trying to call that play. Oh man,
What, on a
I
4th and
see.
15 and you get convert? Yeah, that's how you. That's a good way to get fired.
Yeah, come on, like then they go down and score.
Well, I mean, imagine as a player too, you bust the coverage and you just.
Yeah, there's a whole lot, but you can't take no plays off. That's for sure. So
Mhm.
I thought those are all good ones too. The kickoff thing is pretty interesting to me. I'd wonder what those strategies would end up being, like placement of ball and all that.
Well,
kind of
even
stuff.
just, and that was the first thing I thought about was, everybody you had when you do your typical kickoffs, everybody has a lane and you got all these different blocking schemes and how to avoid all, you work so much time on how to keep your lane integrity. And I wonder if that's still the same if you're already 15 yards away from the ball carrier and there's just a guy 5 yards in front of you, or is it just like, hey, does it turn into just backyard football? Or it's like just beat the man and just try to get there, because that's awesome.
It's just Juke City.
Go be an athlete.
I imagine there's got to be somebody that's going to end up going to be really good that's going to make some people miss, because someone's going to, unless they're telling you, hey, everybody juke right or juke left. There got to be some integrity, because you could get out of a lane pretty easy if you're just freelancing and that.
But I think that's fun too. There's somebody just. The problem is you don't have any like real safeties anymore. So like once you break that first line, it's just a foot race. Like, are you the fastest dude or not? But I think that's pretty fun if you can break through that and just have a race.
Well, I don't know. We'll be watching. I'll try to figure out how to get us some tickets to one of those games as well. I think it'll be interesting. I don't know, just to see how it goes. Now we're going to have something to really compare with the USFL as well and see how this goes. Are guys getting picked up or not and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I think it's going to lead to probably one of those guys folding again. I don't know. I don't know if you can have two.
They have two. Well, yeah.
Football leagues.
Justin says that the USFL is a better product.
I think he says that because his boys in there playing. But I don't know. I can't say I've watched enough of it. Like you said, it's too much to probably determine anything off of one game. But I don't know. Gives me something to do, because your mom even asked me, like, what are you going to do now? I ain't no football on. I was like, well, actually there is.
Yeah. Emily was quite upset when I turned it on. She was like, I thought this was over. So that's why I only watched 2 games, or really kind of a game and a half. Because and Tinsley comes downstairs after her nap. I don't want to watch football.
Well, let's create some kind of cartoon that has cartoon characters playing football. Has got catchy music or something. Maybe kids will like it. But anyway, I got to get out of here pretty quick, JT, because I got to hit the road tonight still. Shout out to JP2, girls, boys basketball teams. Both are Final Four teams.
Nice.
Playing tomorrow.
That's good stuff.
And Friday and potentially Saturday. So good shot for those teams to come home with another banner, another championship ring. And great thing is our soccer teams are doing well too, both boys and girls. They're playing this Saturday to try to get into the Final Four. And we're hoping that both of them make that, which just means I get to be AD and I get to be on the road and go. So I'm going to be in Waco for the next few days, watching a lot of basketball. And next week, depending on the outcome of our teams, I'm going to be in Round Rock doing a whole lot of soccer.
I always get Round Rock and Rockwall confused. I'm like, oh, Round Rock's not far. And then I'm like, oh, wait.
No, we're going to Austin, basically, down that way. So it'll be good. All right. So one last shout out about the crew out here at the Lantern, 6205 Court Road. Man, you need to come out here and see it. It's the type of place that you want to be. It's my type of place. Real friendly people. It's my little Cheers bar, my home bar. I got to figure out if I can get Calvin to put my name on something over here, just so I got a seat. You know, he put me over here by the pinball machine. This is like where I got to sit.
Yeah,
to have
the
my beer
pinball and
when I
the
come at
ATM
4 o'clock.
machine.
Yeah, because he's now all of a sudden
Or
he's
the
a Kansas City
ATM.
Chiefs fan. Nah, I stay away from that ATM machine over there.
Well, I was correcting myself because the M in ATM stands for machine, and I always do that. ATM machine.
Oh yeah. It's like CPT time. Yeah, you're saying
Yes.
the time. Calvin kind of works on CPT time some of the time.
Yes, he
I'll
does.
be up there. If I'll be up there, I'm right down the street. What is right down the street?
I mean, well, you know how it goes. You know, I'll be there in 5 minutes means I'm just leaving. I'm just walking out the door. I'll be there in 10 minutes means I was asleep and I'm just getting out of the bed.
From Little Elm, by the way, 30 miles away. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Yeah, right. But he does show up and he's here. He's been walking out of here with some money bags here lately. I don't know what he's doing with this financial stuff that he got going on. He want to go around with this big old backpack.
What, like Scrooge McDuck?
I don't know what he got going on, but you know, all I'm saying, it's a great place. You know it. We love it. Everything that they do out here. So come on out and support them. We will not be back from now on. We'll be going every other week. The next
he says from now on, but he means until the season starts.
Now for the rest of the non-football season, we'll be going every 2 weeks. March 8th, then March 22nd, live. Okay, and so we'll keep everybody updated from month to month on that. Just reminding them. But you know how the best way to do it is just go ahead and get on YouTube. If you're listening to this via your podcast channel, hit that subscribe button. You like the way I led into that, right, JT? Hit that little bell. We're going to get the graphic. Ding, ding, ding. Hit that little bell so you know what's going on, because, shoot, I have to set reminders too every now and again. I don't know what we're doing. So that's a good way to do it. Don't forget about the crawfish boil, March 18. Come on out and do it. I'll probably be out there. He bribed me a little bit. He brought me another shirt, a really nice Tide in Texas shirt. So go visit TideInTexas.com. Check out the crawfish boil March 18th. Spend $35. Come out and get some crawfish, some beer, some soda. Hopefully there's some good corn and potatoes going on with all that kind of, get the corn and potatoes and all that kind of stuff. And just live music, he says. Now he's throwing this, already been told. Okay. But that's a Saturday starting at noon. So come on out and let's have a good time. All right. Well, and my last one, JT, is his. I'm just going to toast you up with my Diet Coke, since your Diet Coke is a little bit different than mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying cheers to you. Boom. Let's go ahead and get on out of here so I can go hit this road so I can be safe. All right. Appreciate you guys. See you guys March 8th. Deuces.